Minutes.
Thank you, Chairwoman, and thank you to the witnesses for being here today. I just want to quickly follow up with a question my colleague, Mr. Foster, asked earlier to you, Mr. Tenev. You said that Rule 606 reports detail the arrangements you have with firms like Citadel. However, those only detail the payments you receive. Are you saying that you're prepared to publicly disclose the detailed terms of your payment for order flow with Citadel and other market makers?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. The 606 reports do publicly detail the payment for order flow arrangements we have with Citadel Securities and our other market makers.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to seeing those details then. Will you make sure that you get those over to our committee?
Certainly, we can have that arranged.
Okay, thank you. Last month, of course, as we saw this volatility with Gamestop and AMC, and the stock started to rally, everybody seemed to get involved. And one survey recently said that 30% of Americans purchased one of those viral stocks. That includes people like my nephew and his two friends who stayed up until 4 in the morning to see if they could get a piece of this action. So one of the most concerning pieces, though, of this whole episode is how many people really felt like that's what they needed to do to get ahead. To me, this just exemplifies the income inequality across America, and it's one that we need to deal with. And I do appreciate the opportunity for retail investing. I want to make sure that it creates a good outcome, however, for the people who are using it. And right now, what I'm seeing is gambling on the stock market, and it's not a real solution to that income inequality. And I don't think we should pretend that it is. Just last June, when Hertz declared bankruptcy, after that, Robinhood was actively pushing the stock on its site. It was trending on Robinhood, and the promotion of that worthless stock, I don't think is good for investors. That's a gamble that they shouldn't have taken. That's just one example. But people having access to the stock market's nice, but if they don't have the money to invest, then really it's not democratization. And that's the real reason that 80% of the stock market's owned by 10% of the people. And of course, those are people who don't have to put all their money into healthcare or childcare or a car payment or whatever it is that's just keeping them going through their day-to-day. Earlier, Mr. Tenev, you said that you couldn't tell us what your client's rate of return is, but generally 99% of short-term traders underperform the market. So, Mr. Tenev, you say Robinhood's mission is to democratize finance. Is that correct?
That's correct, Congresswoman, yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you then, you've invested significantly in behavioral research, and just so you know, I own a digital design firm with my husband, so I'm familiar with what behavioral research can do for platforms and websites. And that behavioral research has really shaped how your app is designed. Is that correct?
Congresswoman, like many technology companies, we employ data scientists, user researchers, and designers to provide a better customer experience and understand our customers' needs.
So on the specifics, when people sign up, they get a scratch-off ticket to see what they get. Confetti falls every time they place an order. They get push notifications. They're encouraged to trade. If a friend signs up, they get a free stock, on and on. Why have you added specific gaming design elements to look like gambling to your app? That encourages more frequent trading.
Congresswoman, as I mentioned earlier, we want to give people what they want in a responsible, accessible way. We don't believe in gamification. We know investing is serious, and that's why most of our customers are buy and hold. A very small percentage of our customers utilize margin.
Well, I appreciate that, but folks like my nephew actually aren't your customers. They're your product. Your customer's sitting right next to you, Mr. Griffin, with Citadel. So when you don't pay as much for index fund or Apple or anything like that, your app to me shows me that you're really just trying to encourage more trades, which puts more money in your pocket, not helping people build equity through smarter investing. So I would ask you, Mr. Tenev, I'd ask two things. Who exactly do you believe you're democratizing finance for? And how do you plan to address these conflicts of interest?
Well, first of all, I believe in our business model, Congresswoman. I believe our business model has become the industry standard for a reason. It's because it's good for customers. It's led to the democratization of the markets, and it works. And we're very proud to route to market makers on uniform terms without taking into account any of the payments that we generate from them in the routing, and based purely on the execution quality they provide to our customers.
Mr. Sile is recognized.